All right, this is fully for Venture. We're going to start off with Walk. 10 seconds of silence starting now. Okay. All right, Walk. Hi, I'm Felipe Pereira. I'm a senior sound designer on Team 4, and today I want to talk about Venture's sound design. The most important element to figure out in Venture's kit is obviously the sound of the big drill gun. Something like that doesn't really exist in real life. We have drills, but if we record the sound of a drill, it sounds this big. The first thing that I did was I went out and I collected a bunch of power tools. I got some from friends, I brought some from home, took it to the Foley room and just did a big recording session of miter saws, kitchen appliances, anything kind of in that vein, just to get a big collection of powered objects that might get me closer to the sound of this drill. I made a bunch of synth source using Serum and blended the Serum source with the power tool recordings. That got me closer to the result that I was looking for. But it wasn't until I figured out the sound of the Foley of the gun that it started to feel believable. I wanted it to sound not hollow, but that you can hear that there's a volume to it and that it's kind of rattly and junky. What I ended up recording was the cabinets that you walk by when you have to go to the Foley room in the WoW sound hallway where the sound designers for WoW sit. They have these big metal cabinets on one side that I've walked by hundreds of times and I never paid attention to them. But this time I just kind of rattling the handles of the cabinets and stuff like that. The sound that I had in my head for the gun Foley was exactly the sound of these cabinets. So I ended up using the most like mundane source, metal cabinets. But I don't know, man, like to me, they just worked. Yeah, so anytime you're walking around and the gun's rattling and you hear it open up or whatever, it's bouncing around, it's the sound of metal cabinets from the WoW audio hallway. That was an unexpected find. Another element I had to figure out was all of that blue energy that you see when the gun opens up. And the gun opens up a lot during the kit. It opens up during the reload, during the ult. So I knew I had to get something really signature for all that energy. And I used a fair bit of synth source to kind of lay the foundation for that. But I stumbled upon an interesting sound by accident. I was stretching at home with resistance bands that you use for stretching and for exercising. So basically I'm lying on my back and I have the resistance bands across my feet. So my legs are splayed out like that. Like it's not a pretty image. So as I'm stretching with the resistance bands, I plucked it and it made a really cool sound. So I brought them to the Foley room with the help of Brian. Thank you, Brian. And I'm also sorry that you had to be there for that. The thing that I had going is with my feet, I could change the length of the tension of the resistance band, and that would change the pitch of the sound it was making in like a really cool way. And I tried like other ways to get the same result that didn't involve me lying on my back with my legs open in the air. But that was the best way. So that was exactly how we recorded it. I'm sorry you had to see that, Brian. You're a good sport for helping me with that. Yeah, that got me a really interesting kind of warbly energy sound that I didn't have to process that much. I just kind of I reversed some of the recordings and they kind of flow into each other. So anytime you hear the gun open up, that initial pull and reveal of the energy will have the sound of those resistance bands. Last thing, I want to shout out my audio team for really rising to the occasion and helping me with a lot of stuff during the production of Venture, whether it was helping me record or making source or finding interesting library pulls. My favorite part of making this stuff is how collaborative it is. So it feels good to feel like my team really showed up for me. So thank you guys.